My name is Michael Su, and I work for our department in the China office. As you know, China is a rather large economy, population 1.4 billion, more or less. We have a growing economy. Last year, I think it's just under 10%. With the world at its current stage, I think under 10% growth is pretty good. Also, we have a rapidly changing spending pattern for the consumer base there because China is trying to grow into its role as a powerful economy right now because it only has become this powerful within the last 2 decades. So as the world is getting used to China being this powerful, China is getting used to itself. So the spending pattern is rapidly changing. The legal system, despite of what you've heard, the horror stories, it has been changed a lot in the past 2 years. This current administration, this year is their last year, so the past 2 years, they have really put their clamps down on improving its legal system. We had our, it's hard to believe, we had our first property law passed within the last 2 years. So now not only the Chinese, but foreign companies and foreign individuals have the right to protect their own property in court. Also, the intellectual property, that has been a main issue for especially U.S. companies in China, operating in China, and they have said it's pretty difficult to first of all, to get into the courtroom, and then second is to enforcement of these rulings. But within the last 2 years, that has been changed a lot because China realized that it needs these new technologies, and these technologies are not going to come here if they're not going to be protected. So that has changed. Despite our conservative culture on appearance, the Chinese consumers are pretty adaptive, and they're really fast adaptive. For example, Starbucks. You would think China is a tea drinking culture, but Starbucks within the last 2 decades has been incredibly successful. You can literally stand in one Starbucks in Beijing and look out the window and see 3 more. And they're all packed, and there's nowhere to sit. So we drink coffee as well. Despite of what your product is, what you think, whether it has a future or not in China, keep in mind that it is a fast-growing economy who's trying to catch up with the developed economies. There you go. Like I said, even with the 10% growth, we still have a gap. We're not a developed economy. We still have gaps with the United States, with the European Union. So there's this urgency to catch up with these markets. And that's why I think I'm not going to mention any specific industries as opportunities because as a rule of thumb, anything that you have in this market that does not have, that we don't have, will be a good product over there. So, so that's something to keep in mind.